Hello, hello. Hello, everybody. We see everyone coming in. Welcome to Litmos Services webinar. So we're going to give everybody about a minute to join. I know we just went live, but I already see 127 people live in here. That's so great. So while we're waiting, we're just going to give everybody a minute. But while we're waiting, why don't we just go ahead and in the chat? We really want to know kind of where our audience is from, right? 143 of you are sitting in here. We'd love to see where you're from, right? So if you could just pop in your role, your name, and what company you work for, if you want to, if you feel that you can, it'd be really nice to see, just to get a feel for where everybody is. So we love watching the numbers jump up. We've been excited to jump on here with you guys. We've been kind of promoting this for a while, so 158. Let's see where you guys are from. Hey, Ronnie. Emily. All right. Montreal. Great. Jersey. Excellent. Excellent. SoCal. Ooh, look at all these.
Tampa.
See lots of jerseys. Houston, Texas. A little hot down there. All right. Look at all this. This is great. South Africa. All right. Excellent. Very cool. 182 people now. Well, really happy. Like I said, we're giving everybody about a minute just to jump in. Everybody's got a very busy schedule. We're excited to present here. We'll probably get started at about 11:02 Eastern. But in the meantime, if you're just joining in, go ahead and put in your name, where you're from, just to kind of get a nice. I'll tell you what, we definitely are getting a breadth of people here, Roy. This is pretty cool. Lots of all over the place.
Fast.
Yeah, a lot. Canada, Cali, a lot of Cali, North Carolina, great. And while you're doing that, guys, I am going to start sharing out the presentation just to get us started. But keep putting your name and your area in there. Oh, there's Vicky. Hello, Vicky. Lots of names that we recognize, but a lot we don't. That's even better. So let me share out my screen. Give me 1 second here. And while we do that, I'm going to welcome everybody. Welcome you to our first, but hopefully many, Litmos Services webinar here, guys. We were very honored to ask to speak to everybody, and although we targeted this webinar to customers, it's open to everybody, because what we're here to do is talk about how we can help, and that's really why we're here. So we really appreciate all the names, all the comments in the chat. Keep the comments coming, right? So I won't be able to see them, but we have plenty of people on the outside in this presentation monitoring the chat for all the questions, all the comments. And what we're going to try to do is answer them live, some of them, but some of them, if we feel like we want a larger audience to hear them just from me or Roy, we're going to answer them live. So file them all in. Don't feel like I'm ignoring you, because I'm not, but we do have people watching them. So why don't we get started, guys? Welcome to the first Litmos Services webinar. My name is Wes Hayes. I am the Global Director of Litmos Services. A little bit about me, and I'll let Roy introduce himself. I come from an IT world my entire homegrown career, right? I started out in not-for-profit, always doing infrastructure and SaaS, right? I was one of the very first Oracle Cloud customers. I've put in infrastructure my entire career. Got into the SaaS computing really early, ended up joining SAP for the last 8 years. And I wanted to come and make a difference to a company that I saw grow up. And that's what I mean. And Litmos is that, right? One of the most amazing pieces about Litmos is how easy it is to implement. But there's also the reason that we're here, right? And we'll get into that in a minute. But my career has taken me here, not necessarily just for the Litmos LMS, but also for the culture. And you'll see that here, and you'll see it in our emails and the way we do our webinars and the way that we interact with you on the phones. But that's why I joined. I love it here. I get to lead a bunch of really great people, and we'll talk about services in a second after Roy introduces himself. But I'm very happy to be here. And Roy, go ahead. Yeah, you can introduce yourself.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Again, I've been in the services group here at Litmos for probably 8 years now, and just amazed at what we can do for clients. And again, we are always there to, support clients. I've come from consulting, been doing it now for 25 years. And this has been kind of the most fun services group I've been in. So we enjoy engaging with our clients. I keep hearing back from existing clients. So it's always great to hear how they've progressed and how they're utilizing Litmos, and just staying engaged as we do services with them. So I'm excited to present here with Wes, and hopefully you get a lot of value out of this.
Hopefully, indeed. And what a great segue, right? Because Roy goes, it's the customers. And if we go to the next slide here, what you'll see is why services? I hear this all the time. I've been doing customer onboarding, professional services consulting for the last 10 to 15 years. The same questions come up all the time. Well, if it's so easy to use, why do we need it? And there's lots of reasons, and we'll get into them in a minute. But what I'm most excited about is to share why we're here today, right? Litmos is a very easy to use product. It's one of the easiest I've ever seen. But what in the last, I don't know, 9 months or so have been creating is a service portfolio. And it's taken a lot of time, and it's taken a lot of effort on Roy's part and my part and the whole group and all of Litmos. But what we've come up to is a whole service portfolio here. And it consists of what we see here, right? We have implementation enablement, right? When we talk about these 4 categories here, this is not just a consulting group that is showcasing everything that we do. It's more than that. It's implementation enablement, like I just mentioned, right? So when you start and you sign up for Litmos, you certainly can do this all on your own, and it's perfectly fine. But we're also here not just to say we have a services group, we have consulting, go ahead and pay us for it. That's not why we're here. I tell this to the group all the time. We're here to actually create like lifetime customers. And how do you do that? You give them a very, very good experience right out of the gate. And that starts with implementation. So what makes a good implementation? One, you understand what you bought. So you got a little bit of adoption, consumption, and education. We call that enablement, right? Right off the bat. You also need help with maybe the product works really well out of the gate, but there's all these extra features. We call this the gap, right? 80% of the time you can get it working the way you want it to. But there's other features that come along with it, right? And then in the implementation phase, we want to give you the best experience with the least issues. So hopefully when everything goes live, you go back to us and you say, wow, what a great implementation. What does that do? It creates sticky customers like you guys, and hopefully become our advocates to others. That's implementation enablement, right? Creating, a really good looking site, branding, right? Get you connected so there's less issues right off the bat. So you're not having this issue right before you even get live. We don't want that. We'd rather have them before they go live, but we don't want them at all, right? So another part of that is a huge portion is called onboarding, right? Customer enablement. We have a whole team that does that. It's a really common practice, but it's not always done as well as we do. And we really take pride in our enablement group. Another term you can call them is the onboarding group, that really gets you enabled from the beginning, literally from day 2, right? And our goal is to get you live as fast as we can, not at the expense of the experience, but just to get the most value for your money, right? You hear a lot of these SaaS organizations talk about time to value, first time to value, and all the other things that come along with it. That's really nice to talk about, but we really do it, right? We want to see you start using reporting, start using your dashboard, start using the admin views like right away. So if we can do that for you in a faster time, hopefully you get more value out of what you bought, because you're paying for it on day 1. Let's get the fastest value for you immediately. So that's that. So we also talk about workflow integration and reporting. Reporting's big. If you can't report on it, it never happened. So we really want to get you guys to understand what's out there. How does things work? How do we report on it? Data is life, right? Oh, a big one for us is this content and data migration. Guys, and everybody on this call, when you do an implementation, sometimes you're brand new, but a lot of times you're not. A lot of times you have your own content. We can help you. We are Litmos, right? Who better to serve you and get your content migrated, implemented, converted into a Litmos instance than we are? That is not to say that you can't do that. And I don't want to misrepresent this whole webinar. It's not about you can't do this. We would love it if you guys do all this for us. Absolutely. It's actually for you. But what we're here to do is help you, help us, help you, help us. It's all the same, right? And so content, data migration, connectivity, all the things that you're going to hear us talk about, they all can be done by you. But if they can't and you need help, we're here to help, right? So Admin training and support goes without saying. That's definitely a key part of all LMS integrations. So we're here to help with that too, whatever it takes. So what is the life cycle of Litmos, right? So I put this together. It starts in the beginning. We went over it a little bit there. You consult and configure. We get you started. We get you working. We get you enabled by customer enablement, our onboarding group, because, hey, it's really nice that things get working, but now you have to understand what you got. That's where enablement comes in. That's where onboarding comes in, right? What the heck did I buy here? We just really went fast. We got things live. That's great. But now how the heck do I use it? And how do I find the most value out of it? That's onboarding and that's enablement. So we have a whole group dedicated to doing that. That's all they do. That's all they do every day. It's just the very beginning. So if you want somebody to help you with the training in the beginning, in the enablement side, teaching you about, the reporting, teaching you about teams, teaching you how to get everything working the way, how to workflows, everything down the stream, that's where onboarding comes in. So then it's great. Then all that stuff works just like I said. It's magic. Boom, right? Well, now you're live. So what does that mean? Well, that's great, right? Now you got to use the system. Now you got to see if the proof is in the pudding. We bought this LMS. They told us it's easy to use. They trained us on it. They got us working. Wow, that's cool. Now let's use it. A lot of times we find, and I've done this for a long time, a lot of times we find that, yes, we trained you well. You start using it. Then you find out, now I'm really using it. Now I got to work on some advanced features. We have a whole group that does just custom training afterwards that can help you with a variety of things. Now you're becoming an expert in content. Ooh, I need some help with content, conversion. And I have PDFs, I have PowerPoints. Can you help me with this? Because this is where the proof's in the pudding. I really want to get some real use out of my training. And now you guys help me get started. I was in the beginning phase, got some low-level training in there. That's great. Now I want to ramp it up to the next level. We have a group, all considered services, by the way, that helps you with this custom training, wherever it be, whatever you need. So that gets you to where we're using the system. Now it's like, okay, now I'm really using it. Now I'm really rocking that. Okay, wait a second. I just forgot I only have one person. I'm only one LMS admin here. I need help. People are using this thing now. What do I do? That's where we actually can help. We can help a lot of different ways. We call these managed services, right? And we'll get into it a little later. But if you need help with Litmos, we can help you. We can help staff your group. We can help you with all those low-level admin tasks that you don't want to do. We call this admin on demand, and we'll get into it in a moment. That's great stuff. We don't have to do any of it, as we mentioned before, but we're there to help. So sky's the limit. It's like a admin you can buy a certain hours a week, a month, a year. It's great. We'll get into it in a minute. The other one is the technical account manager, which I think is the biggest bang for the buck. Admin on demand is great, but the technical account manager that helps you with very technical, enablement, technical help. That is CSM. When you get an account, you get a CSM. These people are great. They're helping you with adoption and consumption, and they're your account managers. They're great. But there's a lot of things very technically that you guys might want to bounce off somebody. It's not necessarily a break fix, but it's something that you want to talk about. We'll talk about that service in a minute. So that rounds out our service portfolio. Those are the four things, and we really are proud of what we've created since we went on our own in December. And so, hey, I just said a lot of really cool stuff there, right? But what can services really, really help with? And I threw out, I think I did 7 here. And this is where it is, right? Because you say how easy it is to use and how great SaaS is. SaaS is great. There's also so many advantages of using SaaS, countless, arguably, right? But there's other pieces of it that really, really help. I'm not going to go in the order I listed them here because I really want to talk about some of the other ones, like cost management, right? So if you look at like cost savings with SaaS, it's very cost effective, right? We can identify as services, right? When you talk about training, when you talk about the technical account manager, when you talk about all the various parts of what I just mentioned, they know the places inside your life cycle, inside your instance, that they can help you, connect your business goals with your investment dollars and make sure you're maximizing it. You don't always have that competency as just a general LMS admin. LMS admins are very good at what they do. We know Litmos, so we can help, right? Scalability and upgrades. We talk about this all the time. There's always going to be upgrades. Everybody dreads them. The various people that I mentioned, specifically the TAM, the technical account manager, can truly help take that scariness factor out of these upgrades that you guys they're going to do. It's part of SaaS. You want to do these upgrades. There's lots of reasons for them. One is features. That's awesome. Security, content. There's all the reasons that you're upgrading. Performance. Our group knows what's in it for you, what makes it important for you, what the scary factor could be and what could it not be, and how to help. That's a very big advantage to having services help. We talked about optimization and performance. That goes without saying. I'm not even going to spend much time, but that's one of the areas we can help. Absolutely. And let's be honest, right? Training and support is such a broad term, but being around the LMS world for a long time, being around SaaS world, I can tell you that the people that start an implementation necessarily aren't always the same people that are still there a year or 2 years later. There's other people that come in. We move around. There's always need for training and support. Hey, what was the reason we bought this Litmos? Let's go back to those business goals. Hey, I'm struggling with reporting. Can you help me? Yes. All the answers are yes. Absolutely. The other one that's really hits home to me, because I come homegrown from onboarding and in that SaaS world, is best practices, right? So onboarding is generically termed that. But what they really help you with is, one, setup. Two, what does Litmos say is the right way to do things? Not only just with the Litmos platform, there's so many other variations, right? What does Litmos say the best way to do L&D is? You guys do this every single day of your life. Help me with L&D, right? We not only have countless ways to do that, we're developing more. So best practices is not just the Litmos platform. It's, hey, I'm feeling a little lost. We bought this LMS. It's really cool, but what do I do with it now? Like, what's the next phase? How do I make sure that I'm getting the most value for my money? Well, that's best practice to me, right? It's not just generically onboarding. And then the implementation and integration, I've spent a lot of time on it, but that's the key, right? There was a show on on Lifetime, I think it was Homes on Homes, and he basically went into these homes that were dilapidated, that the contractors didn't do a good job, and he had to go in and fix them again. And he says, do it right the first time. That was his big tagline. And I really believe it. Like, I truly believe that if you set things up the best way, with best practices, with people that do this every single day, then that not only do you become a value customer, you become a advocate for what we do. And that's the best version of a customer to us, right? For life. So that's what services can really help with. It's not just, hey, our product's not great, let me give it a bunch of people to help you with it. It's absolutely the opposite of that. Make it better, make it work the right way the first time, out of the box, for the things that are extra. Okay. So, and Roy, I'm going to pause right there for two reasons. One, I want to do a poll, but Roy, do we have any questions or anybody in the chat, because I can't see them, that are coming up that we want to address?
No, I see a lot. I think some is going to cover basically in that quick start, that initial training. There's a lot of questions about people that have, hey, I inherited a Litmos. I inherited this application, and really, or a lot of them are basically, hey, I started and I never got any training. It's basically it's dumped off. And I think part of this is going back to what you mentioned earlier, is that, hey, back in December, we kind of launched out from SAP. We're independent. And so a lot of what we've done in the beginning of this year is set up these services so we don't have these almost kind of, abandoned or orphaned customers that kind of might have happened in the past.
Well said, Roy. Well said. So let's do that. Let's do a poll. And Alex, if you don't mind putting this up there, we want to know if you're brand new to Litmos, or you're an existing customer, or you're not even with Litmos right now. We really want to know that, right? Because what we're going to talk about today are our implementation packages. Some of them are in the beginning, obviously in the implementation phase, but some of them apply to current customers too. So Alex, if you don't mind, put that poll up there. And if you guys could fill out 1, 2, or 3, not new, not a Litmos customer, new or existing, that would be great. And while you're doing that, Roy makes a great statement, right? So if you look at the timeline of Litmos going on their own in December, there was a lot of work to be done, right? A lot of technical debt, a lot of things that came with going on their own. It's amazing to watch our customers grow and watch what they need. You know, I was telling the group about a week ago, one of the things about 7 years ago that I realized I was horrible at was something called active listening. And active listening seems easy to do. It's not. And so I watched the email that came out about this webinar, and it said you spoke, we listened, right? That's exactly what we did. We sat there and listened to what some of the common things were, themes, common requests, common challenges, common things that we did really well, right? There's a bevy of things that we listened to, and we really listened. That's why we didn't just do January 1st. Here's our service portfolio. That's not what we wanted to do. We really wanted to make it actually make value for you guys, actually have a huge amount of value. So what I'm going to show you in this slide is exactly what these packages are. There's 4 main, we're calling them service packages, but there's some that are implementation packages, and there's some that just are here to help, right? So I'm going to start with Core. The 3 implementation packages are Core, Premier, and Platinum, and we're going to go over them. And they're very important in what we do, right? And so Core, in its true wording, is the foundation for helping you. That's our onboarding package, right? With Core, you actually get at any level of customer, you can purchase this product, this package, for a 30-day enablement session with an onboarding manager. We call them a customer enablement manager. Now, there's lots of companies, SaaS and onboarding go synonymously, but at this company, it's much different. It's very personal and individual, right? So we actually sit there and train with you. We not only train you to use the system, right? Teach you to fish, that's great, but we're there with you while you're building. We want to make sure this thing works for you. Everybody's a little different. Although Litmos is a very easy to use out of the box system, it's very common across all customer segments. Every customer is a little bit different, and every customer has a little bit different business goals. So watching this group, this enablement group that is part of services, interact with these customers, it's great. And what they really do is there's about 1 or 2 calls per week, and it varies, and it truly varies, because everybody's implementation is different, and we talk with you. What's your business goals? How do you want to implement this? When do you want to implement this? Because our goal in Core, in that implementation package, is to get you live as fast as we can. We like to get you live in 30 days. That's our goal. We even have a Litmos Labs. If you guys haven't checked them out, you can go to our services page and our customer hub and see about Litmos Labs. We even have get you live in 60 minutes. I get it. It's very basic. We do get you live, but that's the goal, right? We want to get you to use this system to get the best value for it as fast as we can, and that's what this Core is. So any level of customer can purchase this. Anybody. It's a great product. It's 30 days. You get a person to be there with you. It's pretty great. So that's Core. Enablement, onboarding, 30 days, personal. Then we have 2 big packages we're calling Premier and Platinum. Now, think of Premier as we are an extension of your team. You lead us. We have, over the course of, gosh, I don't even know what the answer would be, Roy, but we've curated the 3 most common asks, right? Common requests when someone is implementing Litmos. What are the 3 big things they really want? And honestly, it comes down to 3 things. 1, how do I get connected, people? Please help me. We have 150 APIs. I think that, Roy, does that number sound right? About 150 in that range?
About 160 now.
160
yeah.
APIs. So we're very confident that we can connect you in all various ways, but we do have them. And so people always ask, can you help me with that? Sure, we are absolutely, we can consult you on how to do APIs. We have documentations for it that you can look up yourself on our documents site, but we're here to help you with that too. So we'll help you with APIs. The other big one is, oh man, people, now I got to get my stuff in there. I got content from before. I got courses from before. This seems overwhelming. We can help you with that too. That's part of this package. We will migrate your content into Litmos, right? That's number 2. Number 3 is, oh, it's nice. We got the site. It's pretty cool. It works. Now I want it to look like us. Like we got all our other sites, all our other properties. It doesn't look like that. We can absolutely help with branding. Branding your website to look like you. So Premier, we act with you. You lead us. You're doing the implementation, but we're here to help with those 3 most common things. You also will get an enablement manager. So that core comes included in Premier, right? You will get that in Premier. So you get the 3 most common asks. You get a warm body to walk you through and help you configure your system. And at the end, you're live. That's the goal. We help you. Conversely, we have Platinum. You help us. We are leading it for you. A lot of times we hear, "Oh man, I don't even know where to begin." I know we bought this system, but I don't even know where to do. I don't know where to start. It's a lot. We do get this a lot, so we can help you with that. Platinum is turnkey. As long as you have some sort of content that you want to create in the system, we can help you migrate it. We can give you an onboarding person. We can project manage this for you from the beginning. We'll work to your business goals. We'll keep you informed. You just tell us what you want out of the system, and we will be there to do it for you. And at the end, we hand you the keys to your new house. Here you go. So think about the 2 different variations. Premier, we act with you. You lead us. We're there to help you with the 3 most common things. Platinum, just tell us what you want. We'll lead it for you. We'll bring you in. You help us do it, but we're leading it. So there's the variation. So now I just explained to you, if we go back, core, onboarding, enablement, 30 days. Premier, 3 most common requests that we've gotten in, packaged into one pretty implementation service called Premier. Platinum, hey man, I need help with it. Can you just do it for me? You got it. So those are the 3. Now we skipped over one because while it is an implementation package, it can be used for anything. And we have a lot of current customers on this call. We find this is the most used service package we've come out with, and it's called Quick Start. Don't let the name fool you, by the way. It is Quick Start, and it gets you going, but it's also a restart. It's also, hey, I've been doing this for a while, and I kind of forget about Teams. I forget how to do this course stuff. Man, what do we got? Quick Start. Quick Start is a 4-hour session with a consultant expert in Litmos. So they can help you in various ways, whatever ways you want them to help you. But that's it. What does Quick Start do? 1, we actually have a course in our dojo that you can take. It helps you, right? It might not solve all your issues, but man, for what you get for Quick Start, that's the beginning. Take the course, it gets assigned you. You take it, you learn a little bit about things, call it a refresher, and then you go through. Great. That's cool. That might even solve your problem, but maybe not. Also with that, you get a 4-hour session with an expert, right? So come with your questions. We have a generic agenda for it. You see it in that course, but that doesn't mean we have to do it that way. So in our mind, Quick Start is 1, get you started. If you just want a little bit of help, you knew a little bit about what you're doing, but you need either 1, all right, I think I know, but I have a couple questions. Quick Start. All right, I've been doing this a while, I forget some things. Quick Start, right? I need some help with something I just don't know. I reviewed your documentations. I'm getting ready to put a support ticket in. I'm just off. Can you help me? Quick Start. When you don't know something that you just need help with, right? Remember what support is. Support is something is broke that needs fixed. Something's broke that needs fixed. If it's not one of those things, you can't use support. So that's what Quick Start's for, and that's what we're here for. We're very fast at scheduling them too. So if you guys need one, reach out to us. That's a very, very cost-effective, easy tool to use, easy package to use. So there's that. So I hope that helped. I just want to explain the 4 different implementation packages and explain that while they're implementation and while they can be used for implementations, they can be used for anything. In fact, Premier's a great one even. We just talked about how they're the 3 most common requests. Hey, let's be honest. You get a new LMS implementation, your just goal is to get this thing live. I want to get it live. Great. Okay. Once you get it live, maybe you still need some help with some connectivity issues. You want to do some more, API calls. You want now, finally, I'm at a point where I want to brand my site. There you go. Premier. 3 most common things for you. So I hope that helps for at least those 4, because that's what we're most excited about. Good, cool. Let's move on to the next one. So what does this mean? Like, we have these nice 4 big packages. It's pretty cool. You know, we just explained about what they're useful for, the why they're useful, what they can be used for. So that's great. But we also can do a lot of other things. We're calling them a la carte, right? You know, like, hey, I don't necessarily want the full sundae. I just want some ice cream. Okay. Doesn't mean we can't do these things, right? If you just want data migration, if you just want some help with integrations, hey, I just need some help with custom training. I am lost. I don't know L&D very well. I am an LMS admin. I know what to do. We can help. You see this list here, and I know Alex that put the deck up there, and you can have them. You will also see a QR code at the end of this webinar that shows our services site. It's live. It'll show all that stuff there. But it just showcases that, like, if you look at Platinum and Premier, all these things are listed in there, all of them, right? Platinum, you basically get everything. You get it right there. Premier is the same thing. We talked about that a little bit, and Core and Quick Start. So while I didn't want to spend a lot of time on this, it just showcases what you actually get, that you could also just talk to your AE or your CSM about these other pieces. That's the quickest way. If you have a CSM, talk to them. If you have an AE, which we all do, talk to them. Okay, so I just wanted to showcase. So now we get in a little bit, we talked about training. You know, if you remember that life cycle I talked about, training was, you know, training can happen at any time, but most times it happens, you get live, now you want to really understand what's going on. We have so many, and we're developing it as we speak, right? There's a lot of training coming out. So keep an eye on our website, on that services website, of what's to come. But man, oh man, you got admin training. One of the things that we're big on around here is training the trainer. We don't just want to keep training everybody over and over again. That's just, it's a waste of your money. It's a waste of all this. We want to teach you guys to be effective, because the more you know, the more you use, right? Adoption, consumption, using the product is the way to training you guys to understand the product is the way to make you use the product. And that's what we're here for. So there's a bevy of training services. I put 6 of them here, and then we bucketed one custom training. That just means you can help. Tell us what you need. We know Litmos, but guys, one of the things that I don't know that we highlighted enough is that we know L&D, we know training, and we can help you guys. We must get this from, man, at least twice a week. Personally, I'm lost, Wes. I'm actually, they'll say sometimes, I'm nervous, I'm scared, I got this job. I don't necessarily know how to admin all these things. I'm not talking about adminning the system. I'm talking about, how do I do a needs assessment? How do I do, how do I decide on what courses are important? We can help you with all of that. And trust me, stay tuned. Way, way, way more to come. So very excited about all that. Now, this is where I got the most excited to talk to you guys, because it's a newer offering for us that we've been piloting behind the scenes in different various ways. But to me, talk about value. In the beginning, implementation, huge, huge value. Right? And these services that I'm showcasing right here, they're called subscription services. You purchase a certain amount of these services per week, per month, per year, right? So let's talk about the 2 big guns in the room. So we'll start with technical account manager. A lot of you, if you've been doing SaaS for a while, you understand what a TAM is, a technical account manager. They are basically your technical, in my mind, I view them as your technical CSM, your technical person that's attached to your account, to use for any way you want. But I've listed some of the 5 big reasons that I, Wes Hayes, would use a TAM. And here they are, right? So technical guidance, without saying, number 1, right? They work with your enablement manager in the beginning, if you're in the beginning phases, if you get the service, or afterwards with your CSM. It's to give you expert level help that, hey, you don't necessarily need to come and purchase consulting hours or consulting buckets or these things. Once you have a TAM, they can help you. That's what they're there for. They're on your account. Let's say you purchase 4 hours a week, every week for a year, right? You can use them for anything you want for those 4 hours, right? Technically, right, within Litmos world, you can use them. Technical best practice guidance. Hey, guys, what does Litmos say that you should do for these calls, these API calls? Let me help you, right? You can look at the documentation, but these guys can literally get in your system with you and look at it with you. It's great. One of the other big ones is, cadence, right? How do we do this? tracking your goals, facilitate their ROI. That's what I put up there. A lot of fancy words, but it really means is every week, every month, whatever you want them to do, they'll sit with you and track your goals. Here's what you're doing. Here's your CSM. They told us that these are your goals. Here's some technical challenges that you've talked about. Let's see how to work backwards from what you want to get to this gap between the challenge and where you're going. That's what they can help with. So again, timely technical guidance, enablement, and best practices, but from a technical level, right? There's best practices generically with the product, but then there's the next level where you really have guidance on technical solutions. And the fourth one, hey, it's always the elephant in the room. No one wants incidents and no one wants to have any issues with their system, but it happens. It always does. It happens all the time. So what they can do, the TAMs, and that's what we're calling the technical account manager, is they can help you with these, right? While we have a great support, since leaving SAP, this support is, I've been watching them grow and how they interact with the customers. It's great. But if you want someone to be your advocate with support, to be inside of Litmos, to help sometimes translate techie talk back and forth, they can help with that, right? So let's say you have a technical support incident that's there, that you're talking with your TAM, you're like, this is a problem. It's really, we have a lot of issues right now. You need to help us. The TAM can actually take that and walk and talk to support and say, here's the issue. I'm their advocate. I believe that this is really a problem. We should escalate this. I don't know that you would get that level if it was just you, right? So the TAM helps with all of that, right? And again, I mentioned in the beginning, it's attached per week, per month, per hour. So you purchase a certain amount of hours as a subscription, and you are free to use them however you see fit. It's a great thing. And one of the other things that I didn't showcase on here that I really wanted to was tailored release notes. It's near and dear to my heart. I used to do this for a living, but when we come out with cool new features, bug fixes, content, whatever, when Litmos does an upgrade, which they always will, as any SaaS company does, you want to know what's in it for me. Not only the cool stuff, what's in it for me, but hey, is there any red flags I should be looking out with? I have code here. I do it this way. JavaScript's here. Like, tell me if I should be worried, Wes. They can do that. They actually they will go through the release notes of Litmos, the generic ones, and tailor them to you, customer. So that's a great feature. I almost feel like that one sells itself, right? To me, it's like a tutor checking your homework every single day. Great. So that's the TAM. We talked about why it's important. We talked about what it does and how it works. Now let's talk about admin on demand. You've heard all the different terms. We're calling ours AOD, admin on demand. It's basically an LMS admin for you. Yeah, that sounds great. Oh, generic outsourcing and LMS admins. We don't want to take anyone's job away, but what we do want to do is help you with those tasks that you don't necessarily want to do all the time, nor maybe you know how to do, right? A lot of stories we hear are very similar. Hey, I have this company. I just purchased Litmos. I just hired an LMS admin. The LMS admin's really good, but they don't know Litmos. They don't know Litmos yet, right? And so it might take them 6 months. First you want to implement it very fast. We talked about that 30 days. You want to get it up and running. So if you're a new company or you're a company that just purchased Litmos, wouldn't you want someone that did Litmos thousands of times to help you implement this and then be an extension of your team? Because that's what they are, right? And so if you look at what we put out here, it's what do? Man, we do all the normal day-to-day admin tasks that you might not want to do. But even if you like doing them, maybe you don't know how to do them yet. And so what I talked about all before about enablement and training and all these things, that's great, but there's still ramp up time for LMS admins. And quite frankly, sometimes the LMS admins, there's certain work they just don't want to do. They have a lot of more important things to do. Why don't you let us do it for you? The low level stuff, right? Like Teams maintenance, oh man, user maintenance, course maintenance, automation rules, right? All that stuff. And then to top it off, they're sitting here in Litmos. So if there's any problems, they're here to help right here inside of the company. So to me, for the money, for whatever, I talk about business cases. To me, it's right in the beginning where you need help. New LMS admin or current LMS admin just doesn't know Litmos that well. Or, hey, man, I just need some help with the stuff I don't really want to do. That is AOD, admin on demand. So I don't want to underplay these. These are my favorite two services, not from anything to do with money. It's all to create the customer experience that we want to see at the end. We want you to become our advocate. We want you to become customer obsessed with us, right? So we really like these two services for that in itself. So there you go. Those are the two main ones that I wanted to focus on there. Again, we're going to show, I'm not going to spend much time on this because we're sending the deck out, but I put a definition of all of our add-on services, training, retraining, custom reports. Hey, we know reporting, right? We know it. And we know it can be a bear in anything. Like, that's part of the world we live in. We need reporting. Leadership needs reporting, and they need it all the time. So why not let us handle that for you? Even if you want to do it once in a while, if you need help on a bigger report, we can help you. But this, just generically, it's a really great add-on portfolio, and you can see it when we send it out. And it's available on the services website. So gang, let's get started here, right? We've been talking about this for about 5 months, not for a reason of delay, because we wanted to get it right. We didn't want to create a portfolio that's just fluff. It's not. I wouldn't be here. Roy wouldn't be here. We put a lot into this. The whole group behind us put a lot into this. So we're very excited. There's a QR code right on the site here. You can just scan it, go right to our site, our services site. There's a way to contact your AE right from there. But gang, we're just really appreciative that you ended up, joining us today. Hopefully, I haven't seen any of the questions yet, and hopefully we can go over them a little bit. But one of the other polls, Alex, if you don't mind putting up before we get to the end, is we talked a lot about integrations. We talked a lot about the beginning. And we really want to know, right? Litmos wants to know. I want to know. Roy wants to know. How are you connecting Litmos? Are you using APIs today? And Alex, if you don't mind putting that poll up there, I would like to see it. Because we talked about the 3 most common things that happen. That's them, right? Connectivity, data migration, and branding. So I want to know, how are you connecting? Let's see some of the platforms you're connecting to. Like, what's the HRIS system behind the scenes? Tell us, because it's for us to help you, right? The more we see, the more customer stories that we see, the more we can tune what we need to. So there you go, guys. I appreciate